Hi, I'm back. This is question number 18 from our series of random questions that are being asked of an immigration lawyer. This question is about getting married and whether you need a visa and what do you do if you just want to come and visit. And this is about a son who is getting married to a Brazilian citizen. He is a U.S. citizen. He's flying to Brazil in late January, and then he's coming back in April. And they're hoping to get married in a civil ceremony in March in Brazil, and then they want to come and visit in April. The new wife has a tourist visa, but does she need a new visa to come and visit? And then there is a question about whether it's legally advantageous to get married in the US, sometimes later or now in Brazil. And they also may want to live in Brazil for the next 2 years and then just come and visit to the United States. So a lot of issues to consider. And what I think is important is to understand that whether they are married or not married, it doesn't really matter as far as her visa status. Because if they don't want to live in the United States and she doesn't have an intent, that's the word, the intent to immigrate to the United States, she can continue to come and visit on a tourist visa, whether she is his girlfriend, whether she is his wife, whether she is his fiancée. It's all about the intent to immigrate. You cannot have intent to immigrate as a tourist. But if you are really a tourist and you just come for a couple of weeks to visit your in-laws, that's fine. The problem is at the border. The CBP officer, the Customs and Border Protection officer, has to be convinced that you don't have the intent to immigrate. Because if you have the intent to immigrate, or if the CBP officer thinks you have the intent to immigrate, they may refuse you admission at the border. Because the question was about getting married in the US or getting married in Brazil. It doesn't matter for the legality of the marriage. It doesn't matter for eligibility if she later wants to become a permanent resident or anything like that. But it matters to the presumption of immigrant intent. If you show an American marriage certificate at the border, the officer may think that you want to stay here. And they may also think that when you have a Brazilian marriage certificate. So the burden of proof is on you. The burden of proof is that you need to convince the officer, that's a weird burden of proof, but you really need to convince the officer that you don't want to live in the United States. So when you travel to the United States and you are a tourist married to a US citizen, make sure you have documentation that shows that you live abroad, in this case in Brazil. Utility bills, employment records, health insurance, anything that ties you to the country abroad. Otherwise, you may have a problem getting into the United States because, again, there is a presumption of immigrant intent. Hope this helps. Thanks.